Okay, so as I'm posting this stuff and telling these stories, I'm beginning to realize that I was a little bit of a motherfucker to a bunch of people that I thought that I was really cool with. So there is a guy by the name of Demetrius that I used to actually, being truthful, he and I used to date, but I didn't realize it at the time, or I didn't accept it at the time. I met him because I was working with him in my job in Nashville, and I was there with my parents, and he and I forgot how it started off or whatever, but he and I had started having sex. And then it was time for me to move out of my parents' house, or you could tell it was I had overstayed my welcome. So this was before I moved to Memphis. So I was living in my parents' house. I moved out and got my own apartment. Demetrius came with me to the new apartment. What I didn't realize is that he was having an issue with his living situation also. So when I got the apartment, he was there with me. I mean, he went through the whole process with me about finding the apartment and getting moved in and everything, which was really cool. I have no problem with it. So I remember the first time he wanted to spend the night. He didn't really tell me that he wanted to spend the night. It was like it just got later and later and later, and then I was like, well, I need to go to the Walmart. But I had this thing about leaving people in my apartment, and I didn't really know him like that. Only thing I knew is that we worked together, and he ended up losing the job, and so he didn't work there anymore. So okay, so after he lost his job there, that's when he and I got closer. Then I got the apartment, and then he came to the apartment. He started coming to the apartment, and I was like, I didn't want to leave him in my apartment because I was like, I don't have that much stuff here, but at the same time, I didn't want to give him the opportunity to fuck my shit up. If that's what he. It's the trust level wasn't there for it, and he kind of picked up on the fact that I didn't want him there in the apartment alone. So he rode with me to Walmart, and then the reason I'm saying this part is because I think that was the day that I made a conscious decision to just go ahead and let him stay in the apartment while I wasn't there. So I got him a key. Now keep in mind, I had issues before with Riley because I was taking care of all the bills and everything. So I had started doing the same thing again with Demetrius. I never asked him to pay any bills. I asked him to pay one bill. I asked him to pay the light bill once. Was it the light bill? I think it was. It was the light bill one time. But everything was in my name, and he was technically living there with me. But I told him, I was like, I need for you not to fall in love with me because I still got a thing for my ex-boyfriend. I mean, I just told him flat out. I was like, I still have a thing for my ex-boyfriend, and if he calls me, I will drop everything and I will go to him. And he was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Also, I didn't tell you this. Demetrius has two kids, and he moved out of his baby mama house and into the house with me. So that was another thing. He was slick working his way up to telling me. I think I was the first guy relationship he ever had. He was slick working his way up to telling me that he loved me. But I kept telling him the whole time that we was in that apartment, do not fall in love with me. Don't fall in love with me because you will get your feelings hurt. In retrospect, that is some cruel, cold shit to say to somebody who is living with you and you are legit like helping them take care of everything. But I didn't think of that. I was being selfish. So, I mean, he was helping me out with everything, like non monetarily, whatever. Then I was like, I can't stay in Nashville no longer. Oh, nobody knew we was together. Didn't nobody know he lived there with me. He didn't tell anybody where he was staying. He was like, I'm just staying with a friend right now. And then when my people came over to the house, I never let them come inside the house. Um, they came in one time when my nieces and nephews had came over to go swimming in the pool at the apartment complex. And that was the only time. And he wasn't there that day. All the other times he would always leave. I would like, my sister's on her way over here. He'd be like, okay, I'll go somewhere. And he would get up and leave. Or, now as a courtesy, I knew sometimes he needed to be around his people. So there was like one weekend that I left him the apartment because he had somebody come in from out of town. And I purposely didn't question him about it because I felt like if I'd have questioned him and been like, well, what was y'all doing? Who is it? How long y'all known each other? Have y'all ever fucked? I didn't ask none of that. I was just like, okay, that's cool. Your homie's coming? Great. I'll go to Atlanta. And that was that. Because I didn't want to go into that relationship territory. I would always avoid it. Some more bullshit. So the lease was about to be up, and then I had the opportunity to move. I was like, I don't want to be in Nashville anymore again. And I told him, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to transfer to Memphis, to the office in Memphis. He was like, oh, well, I can't live in Memphis. I was like, okay, well, I'm not staying here in Nashville because this secret shit is getting on my nerves. I can't do this no more. And he was like, okay, well, I'll figure something out. So I got my shit together. I got my transfer and I moved to Memphis. And he helped me move to Memphis. I remember I called my brothers to help me load the truck, and none of them showed up. But Demetrius was there. He was the oldest one. And he helped me move my shit to Memphis. He didn't even have to do that, but he did. I got down there, got into the apartment. He came down to visit me on his own dime, like 2 or 3 times after I got down there. It was really cool. We had fun together. But then he was like, I can't come down here no more. I guess at that point he was like, this shit is starting to hurt, man. You going. I was like, okay. And then the phone call stopped coming. And then I stopped seeing his post on my timeline. And then some time had went on. I got into school while I was in Memphis. And something told me to just look him up, but I couldn't find him on any social media. So I was like, what is going on? Is he okay? I just never talked to him again. And then life started to happen for me. I got out of school. I left Memphis. I went to go live in Atlanta, and from there I went to back to Nashville, and then I came here to Brazil. I think at this point he has blocked me on all social media, and which I don't doubt him for. I don't blame him for because the shit that I said to him, it was like he was like genuinely feeling some stuff for me, but I told him, don't fall in love with me. I mean, it's truthful, but it's truthful and cruel at the same time because I already knew that I wasn't going to be able to commit to him 100%. But I like emotionally, but everything else was 100%. I was like, I helped him get his car fixed. I paid a bill for him. I helped him with his kids, even though I never met his kids. Like his kids got dropped off at the house after school, and he like babysit them at the house and stuff. They had like food in the refrigerator, everything. I washed his clothes. He washed my clothes. And now at this point, I'm like, I would really like to apologize to him for saying that shit to him, but it's too late now. And I hope it didn't like fuck him up for future relationships. Cause you know how sometimes people would be like, "Oh, I never do that again," because I remember this one time I was in this relationship situation and this happened, and because of that, I won't never do this again. So I think I ended up being that person for him, but I hope not. There was another guy, but I'll save that for another story. I was a son of a bitch to these niggas. Oh my gosh. Anyway,